My name is Claudia Abar, and I am a kindergarten teacher in District 4. I'm also your virtual content specialist for kindergarten math. Now this week, we are doing week 36 of Teach Hub lessons. What that means is that we have pretty much exhausted all of the lessons from Engage New York, and we are now creating a whole new unit for you, Unit 7. Now I know what you're thinking, more work? No, not really. We have designed a few lessons that have games embedded in them, and that are mostly wrapped around these games to help you facilitate some of the teach time that you still have left, but also allow you to collect some additional data and assessments on your students. So let's go ahead and get started so I can share with you what it is that we have for you. Now, as you go in here, you will notice that this is Unit 7, Day 1, and it says revisit combinations of 10 to identify patterns. So let's go ahead and look at what the game says. Go into the third slide, and it's the toss 10 chips. I'm going to go ahead and click on that with the hyperlink that's embedded both here in the implementation and in the launch. And for this one, I'm actually going to play the audio for you. Some of the games have audio options.
Toss 10 chips. Always choose 10 counters. Record the number of red and yellow counters for each toss.
So two things. You want to remind your students that they are to choose 10 counters here. And also that in order to record, they have to use the pen option on this side. So let's go ahead and toss. Hear that? Pretty cool sound, right? So let's count the red. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Click on the pen option and write the number 4 for red. And let's count the yellows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and count and record that here. In order for you to toss again, you have to get rid of the pen option, and you do that by clicking here. The game ends when you have finished the recording sheet. Now, bringing you back into the lesson, go ahead and look at this slide, the assessment for instruction. You want to make sure that you have supporting documentation for why you were playing games in the last few days of school. So this is one way to do that. You are going to be recording whether your children can accurately count quantities up to 10, whether they can see different combinations of 10, write the numerals 1 to 10, and see quantities up to 6 without counting by ones. There is also a summary slide in which you'll be asking them, what was it like to play this game today? What did you notice about the numbers that make 10? Maybe they notice patterns. Maybe they don't notice patterns. Whichever answer they give you, completely accurate. On day 2, we are going to play another game. Now, as you go off into work time, your children will now have 2 games to play from. This one says, how can we find how many to 10? Find the number that makes 10 when given a number from 1 to 9. Represent the combination with a 10 frame and equation. Let's go into the implementation guidance. Click on this hyperlink, how many to 10, and it will bring me to this game. This game also has the recording, the audio option, Deal a card and figure out how many dots. Then figure out how many more dots are needed to get to 10. Then complete the equation. To get a card, go ahead and tap on it. Slide it over so that it makes it easier for your children to work from. Then what they are going to do, they are going to copy how many red counters and tell you how many more are needed to make 10. How would they copy this here? They will use the stamp, click on the counter option, click on red, and add the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now they will go back here again into the stamp, click on the counters again and click on yellow and add the remainders. Once they are done filling in the 10 frame card, they will record the equation by writing that there are 7 plus 3 and that makes 10. Sorry about this. A really cool feature about this one is that they will be playing along with a partner. So if you notice here, this is sheet 1 of 2. Their partner has their own recording sheet right here. And they can play this in breakout rooms. They can play this in the classroom if they are one in front of each other, however you want to do this. This game also has the assessment for instruction. Can your children accurately count quantities up to 10? Can they write the numerals? Can they see the different combinations? Can they figure out how many to get to 10? On the final day, we are introducing another game. Day 3 now has this game that says that it's going to help them figure out what are the ways we can find the total of 2 parts. Find the sums of 2 parts. You can access it from both the implementation guidance or from the mini lesson launch from the introduction. I will do that. Click on this hyperlink, and it will bring me to this page. Roll and record. Roll the cubes and record the total number. There are directions here. Roll both cubes by tapping on each. Write the total number of dots on the recording sheet using the pen tool. The game is over when one column on the recording sheet is full. So let's go ahead and tap the die. And this one is 0 plus 3. So now that the total is 3, I'm going to come over to the pen option, and I'm going to go ahead and write the number 3. And I know that you're noticing that I'm also struggling with my numbers a little bit. One really cool feature is that they have the text option, and they can just write the number 3 here and drag this over to the column. Writing on iPads or sometimes even on different devices can be a little problematic for the children. And we don't want to make the games harder than they need to be. So let's come back into the lesson. Let's look at the guidance for assessment. Can they count on from one dot cube to another? Do they find sums to 10? Do they stop? Like, let me roll them again so that you can see what we mean. Do they count 4 and then start counting 1, 2, 3, 4 again, or do they continue? Such a good skill to make sure that you assess during this game. On day 3, your children will be able to play with all of the games. So that's why the summarize slide asks them, which activity did you like the best today? Why? How did you figure out how many dots were in all? Now, these are just some of the suggestions that we have for you for the last few weeks of school. Next week, you're also going to have additional games, and we suggest that you play those in conjunction with these. You know your children better than we do, so you will make the right choices for games for them. Thank you so much for watching, colleagues. We hope you found this useful. See you soon.